it has been a terrible history of the United Nations in the Middle East. If you look at what's going on in UNIFIL right now,
Mm-hmm.
basically in Lebanon, if anything, they've protected Hezbollah. They haven't done their mission. You can go back to 1967 when the UN basically abandoned where they were supposed to be and let the Egyptians close the Straits of Tiran. So you have a situation, we have to ask ourselves, what was the UN's purpose? It was to promote peace after World War II, protect civilians, universal human rights, prevent war, manage conflicts, and coordinate cooperations. And it has done a very bad job about that. So maybe the hybrid that we should have is not the Board of Peace alone, not the UN
Mm-hmm.
alone, but maybe we want a coalition of willing democracies and maybe build upon it so there is not an abandonment after a mission is completed. It doesn't have to be the set that we have right now. Keep what's good. I think the IMF, the World Bank, and things that aren't so good, I think they need to be defunded. And really, that's the only currency that the United States has.
Ambassador Fitton-Brown, I can see that you're in agreement here. And maybe this is the zeitgeist to an extent, not the bug, but the feature, so to speak. We see regional blocs, let it be the Arab League or ASEAN, and all those, maybe they sometimes move much faster than the UN. Maybe the world is fragmenting into regions, and it is not reforming by reason.
I mean, I think that's a fair point. And regional blocs certainly have their place, but you will always find that they want to work with some kind of international ring holder. And I think this point that our colleague was making about Afghanistan is really important. I'd like to underline that. There are so many orphan issues in the world. If they're not orphan issues, they're supranational, and nobody's willing to sort of take them on as their main responsibility. One moment when I concluded that the United Nations, for all its faults, was really necessary was when Yemen fell into chaos. And a little bit like Afghanistan, nobody really wanted to own it. But you end up with a sort of a combination of the concerned states. Now, that might be in the case of Yemen, that was often the Saudis, the Emiratis, the United States. Yeah. In the case of Afghanistan, it might be the neighboring countries. You might be talking about Tajikistan and China and Pakistan or something of that kind, but always working with some international validation, because the danger with regional blocs can't replace the UN. If you were to replace the UN, you'd have to design something like it. And as I said earlier, in the present polarized world that we have, you could not reach agreement on what that should look like. And the Board of Peace, I think, is not going to succeed in that area. We can already say, of course, that the Security Council played ball with the Board of Peace. It passed the resolution to support the role of the Board of Peace. But the Board of Peace has already moved on to a very different model from what was envisaged at that time, and which, of course, is far beyond what was approved by the Security Council.